It is now happening. Welcome everybody to this February webinar for the Inner Transformation Community, and I've invited extra guests this time. People who have done module 1 and who have been waiting because the training has been delayed and so on. So I've invited guests from that. I've also invited some guests from the Zen Coaching Network. So we have some extra people. And I'm just checking out your faces to get a sense of who's here. So you can do the same and just look around the room and notice how it feels what happens in your heart, especially this part. What happens in this part of the body as you just receive the people in the space. So don't go so much out with the eyes, more like you receive the faces. This is a mistake we make in life. We go so much out with the eyes to grasp. Eyes are quite aggressive in a way. But if we soften the gaze and we let the eyes be receptive, then they become instruments of the heart immediately. So look with the heart. Imagine your eyes are actually on the heart. Imagine the eyes are on the heart, the eyes of the heart. And the heart has the capacity to receive everything without judgment, with openness and curiosity, friendliness, even joy, like a child, like an open-hearted child, like a relaxed, happy child. Before we developed all those defenses and manipulation strategies, and trying to be interesting, trying to be smart, trying to be attractive, trying to be intelligent, trying this, trying that, trying to be somebody always, trying to make an impression, trying to make a good impression, or rebelling against that game. So trying to make a bad impression, trying to be difficult, trying to be individual by being difficult. It's the same game. Just notice how it is to receive this group of people and sense the body. Let that be the meditation of this moment. So receiving the faces. If you have gallery view, you choose. I may have to remind some of you, up in the right-hand corner, you can choose between speaker view and gallery view. If you take speaker view, you only see me. That's not so fun. If you choose gallery, you see everybody. Now, if you're on a smartphone, you're limited to 4 faces, I think. If you're on a computer, which is a better idea when you join a Zoom call, I always recommend being on a computer instead of a smartphone, because then you can see 25 people and the whole energy is stronger. So I wanted to focus on the heart from the beginning, because February, the theme of February is connecting with the heart. Living from the heart. Being the heart. Now, when I say heart, I mean the spiritual heart. I mean the qualities of being, actually, like compassion, like openness, like peace, like joy, like love, like curiosity. Now, maybe you are experiencing something different. Maybe you are frustrated, sleepy, tired, scared, lonely, separated, contracted, angry, upset, frustrated, worried. Now, these kinds of feelings are actually not a problem unless you make them a problem. Because the heart can include all these things. The heart is not against such feelings. So imagine this heart of being is big enough to contain also all those kinds of feelings. Let them rest there in that spacious, compassionate space of the heart. So I think of these meetings as satsang. That's the Indian word for it, which simply means being together in the truth of being. A space where we together open up to experience and be nourished by the energy of being. So I use the word being and heart synonymously. They are the same in this context. Space of being, space of the heart, satsang. So you can say the purpose of this meeting is to be together and be nourished and recognize and honor and celebrate being, or the heart. Now, when is a good time to do that? Tomorrow? Should we prepare for it and do a lot of stuff to get there, or should we just go there immediately? I think we go there immediately. So that's always my invitation. That's why I don't wait, like we have to do this and do that, and then we're going to feel the heart. Because that's putting the cart before the horse. The heart is who we are. So it's more like a reminder. Every moment, we can simply remind ourselves that heart or being is already here, nothing to do to get there. And what is the heart? What is being? It is that which includes everything and judges nothing and is open and curious about present moment experience. It is also like a field, an energetic or essential field which permeates everything. You can think of it as a liquid or a density with colors and forms and texture and taste and sound. It's like we're swimming in the field of being, of essence. As you know, I call it also essence after Almas. We are essence fish swimming in the ocean of essence. And because we're so in love with our thinking and doing, we don't notice. So in a way, these evenings are simply meant to remind us about something which is always already here, which doesn't require any doing, which requires more a stopping. Stop No, my hand tool, stop, notice, allow. Stop, notice, allow. And when we just sense that space of being, the ocean, the field, we may feel some impact. We may feel impact on our emotions, on our body, on our mind. So notice already now, if you notice an impact on the emotions, we can say the emotional body, the physical body, the mental body. As I keep reminding us of this space of the heart or being, what is the impact on these three bodies? Can you share on the chat? Lena Marie feels more real. Another word for being or heart is reality, the real. So that's interesting. It feels more real because being is more real. Sergio, relaxation. Eliane, relaxing in the body, feeling joy and togetherness. Ina, ease. Ida, silent presence. Sylvie, buzzing in the head. Warmth, Anna Greta. Anna, peace and connection. Josephine, grounding and vulnerable. Philip, softening. Maria, blissful. Lulu, aliveness. I mean, I keep saying this, I've said it a million times over the last 15, 20 years. Isn't it fascinating how big an impact it has to do nothing for a moment, just for one moment, to do nothing? I mean, serious folks. Isn't that amazing? Do you remember that every day of your life, that stopping to do nothing is the gateway to this kind of experience? Warm chest expansion, buzzy head, more clear and alive, so at home, blissful. I mean, everything we're looking for starts to appear immediately as we stop trying to get anything. When we're busy trying to get it, it recedes, because doing is opposed to being when doing is happening from the mind. Now there's another kind of doing which is happening from being itself. So the doing of being is not opposed to being. The doing of being is simply an expression of aliveness in the world. And when being acts, it's always coming from love, always coming from contribution. That's a statement, you don't have to agree to it. But that's a spiritual principle that being is bodhicitta. In Buddhism, they say bodhicitta. Our nature is bodhicitta. It's basic goodness, it's also called. Our nature is made of basic goodness, of friendliness, of kindness. Our essence, our heart, being itself is love. So the doing of being is simply an outpouring, a flowing out of our good-hearted nature. It's like when we are in the heart, we simply want to share and contribute and celebrate and be in gratitude and devotion. That is automatic. We want to be creative and expressive. We want to express something. We want to dance. We want to offer something. We want to express something. We want to give something. It is a natural movement. Like, these flowers are just giving themselves. So that's, we can say, acting from fullness. The mind, the thinking mind, is always trying to get. It's doing to get, it's giving to get, it's thinking to get, getting. We always want to get something because we're lacking. There's a lack inside, and we're trying to get something constantly. And there's a rejection of the present moment. It's not good enough. I need something better than this moment. I need the next moment. But the next moment, I still need the next moment. Tomorrow never comes, and then we die. Day after day, tomorrow never comes. It's always tomorrow, is always tomorrow. So Zen coaching, every session, now I'm going to offer sessions. And for you who know this, it's so simple. All I do is invite the person to stop for a moment and just let everything be as it is and see what happens. And it is surprisingly difficult for us to do that, even for one single moment, because we're so obsessed with trying to get something. We think we're lacking, we think we're small, we think we're deficient, we think we're not good enough. And there are many reasons it is like that I could talk about for days, and I do talk about for days, but it's also not important really, because it doesn't really matter. Your traumas and your childhood conditioning and your alcoholic father and your absent mother. Of course, we can have some compassion for how everything became so twisted. But in the end, it doesn't really matter in this moment, because I'm not that child now. It's over. It's finished. It's done. So I can heal and heal and heal. But that can also be a goal-oriented activity. I'm just going to heal everything and then I'm going to be happy. Forget about it. Have fun healing, but be happy now with your traumas and everything. So that was my pep talk, reminder of what we do in Zen coaching. Just, I try to say it a little bit different every time, but it's the same always. But I feel there's a big misunderstanding about doing, that I can't do when I'm in being, but of course I can do when I'm in being. In fact, that's called flow, to live in flow. It's effortless action. Life is fun and easy. It's not like every action is hard work and struggle. And it is not easy to be in flow because we are so much busy. I've noticed, I do a lot of kite surfing here in Cape Town, and I noticed it's very seldom I'm totally in flow. Now I'm kite surfing 5 days a week for the last 3 months. And it's very seldom I'm in total flow. Surprisingly seldom. I was like, And it's a sign my mind is in there someplace. But today, I was so in last hour before we started. It was such a flow. And it's so blissful. It's amazing. It's extremely dynamic. A lot of wind, a lot of waves, but so relaxing and so fun. Relaxing into action. I say relaxing into being, but then we have relaxing into action, which I call relaxation. To relax. Have you been relaxing today? Or have you been efforting? So now I have talked enough. In fact, 25 minutes almost. 20 minutes. I'd like to have a little dialogue with some of you. What happens in you when you listen to these reminders? I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to you. And I speak to your knowing. I'm not trying to give you new information. I speak to something I think you know already. That's also the purpose of satsang. It's like we remind each other of stuff we know. Nothing, it's not a lot of theory. That's not the point. So somebody would like to unmute yourself and just share how you are in this very moment, just for connection and some dialogue. Not for coaching now, just a little feedback and get some.
I feel so much bliss and joy just to be here. It just got so intensified when I was joining this call and feeling everyone just being there. And yeah, it's my heart is opening so much right now.
Nice to see you, and thank you for sharing, Maria.
Thank you.
Some more voices. It's nice to have this two-way experience.
I also feel very happy to be here. Energy of the field. It just feels so enlivening and my internet connection is not stable. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear?
I can hear you.
Yeah. So yes, and okay, good. Technicalities. No, so I also feel a sadness within because there's this longing in my life to have these spaces with others more like in real life as well. It's the thing I keep having with Zen coaching. I love the field we create together, like a little home. And then we get out and try to bring in our energy into the world, but are seldom met in this quality of being. So yeah, that's.
Okay, so do you have some people in your daily life who are on that kind of frequency?
Yes, thank goodness. Some of them are animals even, so. And also beautiful human beings who are able to embody more of their essence. Yes, not a lot, but some.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, huh, to have some compared to nobody. So if we focus on what we have, I mean, just now, if you focus on what you have, how is that?
It's wonderful, and at the same time, I notice yes, the singing birds. These are outside. My windows are open. Yes, it's so nourishing, and it's I notice the longing for more of this aliveness and all of that.
Yeah.
And yes, I love focusing also on what I have.
Yeah.
Now even.
Yes, exactly. So this is, this is one very, very helpful principle that I use in my life and in coaching constantly, is to remind myself and clients to focus first on what you have and then on what you want that you don't have. But the mind wants to focus on what's wrong. But the heart, the natural impulse of the heart is gratitude. So the heart is like celebrating what I have. And the mind is focused on what I don't have. What went wrong? What is missing? So I always, well, not always, but I very often don't immediately go along with focusing on what's missing, what's wrong. I say, okay, we can talk about that. First, tell me, what do you have? What's good? What's working? What are you happy about? What are you grateful for? So, okay, the glass is half full and half empty. So let's focus on the half full first, and then we can look at the half empty. Some people are addicted to speaking about what's missing. It's like that is a sign of strong identification with the mind. You believe you are your thinking self. That's who you are. You think you are your mind. If you're identified with the mind, then you can become completely negative in outlook. It's a sign, it's a symptom. So you can use that actually. If you find yourself being overly negative, you can use it as a mindfulness bell. Like, wait a minute. That might tell me something. Not that I'm saying you were that, Eliana. I'm not talking about you now. I'm talking. I'm just using what you said as a general principle. Thank you. And one more voice would be nice. And you can also say where you're sitting, since we're a global village right here on the screen. It's nice to hear where people are physically located.
Okay, I can talk a bit. I'm in Uppsala at my home.
Hi, Leonard.
Hey. And I feel, I'm also happy to be here, but I feel a bit restless. I don't know. And I don't know why.
No, I said and because, and I feel restless.
And I feel restless, yes. Happy and restless.
Yes. Does it make a difference to say happy but restless or happy and restless? Does it make a difference?
Yeah, it includes more the happiness, I think.
Yeah.
For me.
That's such a simple thing, but kills what it goes before but, So be very careful with your buts. I love you, but Now, how do you feel? Do you feel loved now, even before I said the next thing? Does I love you have any impact any longer?
No.
It immediately killed I love you. Oh, that's nice to hear. But oh shit. I'm happy, but okay, I'm not happy. I'm restless. I love you, and it's super annoying when you blah blah blah.
Mm.
Nice to see you, Leonard.
Yeah. I feel more relaxed now when I said that I was restless also.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Normally, I don't do breakout rooms in these monthly meetings, but I wanted to make a exception. In fact, I think it would be nice to introduce that as a component. Not a long thing, more like a short thing. Do you want to do that? A short 2-and-2 meeting? Can you show me a thumb? No? Yes? Okay. That's overwhelmingly yes. So then I would like to invite you to practice what I call speaking meditation. It's a wonderful practice, and it goes together with listening meditation. So it means, okay, we have 2 more people coming in. Let them join first. Okay, welcome to the last participants. We are now 48. You came in at exactly the right moment because we're just gonna do a little breakout room. So I'm gonna put you in groups of 2. And one of you, first you take a moment, you say, hello, my name is, I'm sitting in. That's all, okay? Not more chatting, just, hi, I'm Kåre, I'm Norwegian, I'm sitting in Cape Town at the moment. That's it, no more. And then you decide who speaks first. And this person, you speak slow enough to feel what you say as you say it. That's the definition of speaking meditation. Speaking slow enough to feel what you say as you say it. It doesn't mean you have to speak very slow, just slow enough. So it's self-connected speaking. What are you supposed to speak about? What comes out of your mouth? It's called flow. Don't rehearse, don't prepare, don't think, just open your mouth and see what comes out of it. Okay? So you're listening to yourself speaking. Just like me now, when I have these webinars, I have no idea what I'm going to say. It's just happening.